What's going on, guys? It's your boy Will coming at you with yet another motivational, inspirational video. Okay, so what I wanted to, you know, continue is my choice. We're at the portion of my choice where, you know, I'm in the process of making a decision. Do I want to live the same life or do I want to change my life? And, I'm listening to No Weapons, and this is where God is telling me to trust Him, where God is telling me, hey, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Nothing's going to happen. Anything that happens to you is going to help build you. So, I'm at the point of, do I trust God or keep living the way I'm living? And as the song No Weapons began to play, shout out to the singer-songwriter Fred Hammond. I doubt he would ever see this video, but if he was to see this video, I would tell him I'm a huge fan. I would also tell him thank you for following the leading of the Lord and writing the song No Weapons, because the song saved my life. The song really broke me down and brought me to the point of, God, I don't want this no more. I want to live for you. But back to it. God telling me to trust Him. So as No Weapons was playing, my life kind of flashed before me, and just thinking about everything, I had been through. And I remember, just going through the days, and then, Bible study came. I went with my mom to Bible study one night, and I remember telling one of the elders of the church, I can't do it no more. It's time for me to make a change. And I remember this because the pastor, he didn't do an altar call. And I couldn't let the night go by without, saying, Lord, I trust you. So it was like, hey, no, wait a minute, wait. It's like I raised my hand, like, I was like, you're forgetting something. I think I told him, you're forgetting the altar call, and I was like, I want to get saved. I'm tired, I want to get saved. And, I remember repeating the sinner's prayer, and I'm just like, man, I gotta stay strong. I gotta stick with it. I can't look back. Can't turn back. And as I, was saying the sinner's prayer, just like I could feel so much lifting off of me. I could feel so much, weight come off my shoulders. I could feel my heart get lighter. I hadn't really seen the change in my life quite yet, but I would say as the days went by, I began to get in my word. After that night, I began to get in my word, read the word of God, and I began to just be fascinated with the word of God. I think at that point I started in Matthew, and I went to Luke. After I finished reading in Matthew, and I was so fascinated, so amazed by the word, and I began to see myself in the word, and I'm just like, God, I thank you. I'm just praising God, just praying and reading, and then fasting comes along. This is the beginning. And I remember, man. I remember my first time ever fasting. That was new for me, turning down the plate. So I remember, going to half a day. I went to, 12 o'clock, and then I went from the time I got up to 12 o'clock, and I think I got up that morning around about 5:36. I prayed and cut my fast at 12 o'clock, and I was just like, Lord, I just went without eating anything, the way, pretty much they did in the Bible, we call it the absolute fast, where you don't eat nothing. And this, I did it, and I'm just like, Lord, I thank you. I made it through, and as I began to, fast with with the first few weeks, first few months, I just, I could see certain changes within me. I could see my hunger for God get stronger and stronger. Just my praise get stronger and stronger, and I could see certain things about me just change. Um, it's crazy because when I look back on those times, when I look back on when I first got saved, I was so nervous. I'm not gonna really say afraid because fears of the enemy, but I was so nervous. I was like, Lord, what if I make a mistake? I don't want to turn my back on you. It was like I was walking a straight line. I was walking on pins and needles. And I got to the point where, I couldn't let myself just be any kind of way. And I will find myself, in my Uncle Mike's truck every Tuesday, every Wednesday. He went to Bible study at our sister church at the time. I would be in this truck. I would be in this truck for Bible study at my home church, and I'll be in his truck, on Sunday. And that was because my mom, she didn't have a car at the time. But I just thank God because when I think about my first days, my first few months of being saved, I fought so hard. I really, I was to the point to where I was like, Lord, I can't turn back. I don't want to turn back. Certain things were happening. I didn't understand what they were, what was going on. And then I began to talk to my bishop at the time, and he began to give me insight. And I would talk to my mom. She would give me insight. I would talk to my Uncle Mike. He would give me insight. And I would really just get into the word even the more. And I remember, at the same time, everything that I was going through, I was seeing it. And let me actually rewind because I was with my mom and my stepdad at their church, and then I left there and went back to my family church because I realized I didn't even put that part in. So yeah, that's a key component because I didn't feel right there. So I went back to my family church, and my family church is where I was baptized. So back to it, I was, in the word, and I was just getting, insight on everything that I was reading and everything that I was hearing, everything that I was seeing. And my Uncle Mike was there, my mom was there, to give me insight. And I also had, my bishop at the time, and he was giving me insight. And I just thank God for that because in those moments of my need for insight, it seemed like I got so much. And then it got to the point to where, I was able to really tap into God and hear God. They say, you feed babes milk, and that's what I was on. I was on milk, and it got to the point where, I was hungry, and, months go by, a year go by, 2 years go by, and I'm fighting. I'm really going hard for God. And I remember really just rolling in the Lord, just going hard in my first few years, just starting out. I would really tell any and everybody that wants to, work for God, that wants to change their life, that wants to serve God, I would tell them do it. Don't hesitate. go for it, because you know my first few months, first few years of serving God, you know, mistakes were made. Of course, you're gonna make mistakes, but how many of you know God is a forgiving God? He forgave me, and I got better. I did better. I got stronger through fasting and praying and reading the Word. You know, and in my experience, I felt so much joy in the beginning, and I felt joy that I never thought that I would ever feel. And that joy grew, and it's still going. You know, I thank God, because when I first got saved, I didn't know what to expect. My first few years of being saved, my first few months of being saved, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to look for. The only thing I knew was, you know, trust God, trust what my bishop was saying, and get in my word. That's what I knew for a fact. And I would fast, I would pray. Um, I would encourage you to honestly trust God, trust the woman of God or man of God that's over you, fast and pray, and you know, just be blessed in that. You know, I'm gonna continue on with this, my experience. The next time you see me, the next time I come on, I will be talking to you about, you know, making a mistake and owning it. This will probably be, you know, some of my first mistakes, and just, you know, growing in God. You guys be blessed. Oh yeah. Oh man, you know, I got to stop ending my videos like that. You know, like, share, and subscribe. You know, I need to say be blessed, like, share, and subscribe. But yeah, you guys be blessed, like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.